Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, so I'm Una Aya Osato, aka Exotic Other, aka Norms. Those are my burlesque names.
And I'm Michi Ilono Sato, aka Sister Selva, aka Lil Willie.
I'm Autumn Brown, a queer science fiction writer, a theologian, a mother of dragons, and a healing justice facilitator for social movements living on Dakota and Anishinaabe land currently known as Minneapolis.
And I'm Adrienne Marie Brown, a writer, student of miracles and love, emergent strategist, and pleasure activist living on Anishinaabe land with my eyes on Durham, which I got to learn all things about, including whose land it is.
And this is How to Survive the End of the World,
our podcast about learning from apocalypse with grace, rigor, and curiosity.
And now you've got everybody wondering about Durham.
I know. They should wonder.
So, here we are. We are so excited today to be continuing in our Sibling Miniseries. Today, we have the honor and pleasure to welcome to our show Una and Michi Osato.
Yay.
And I'm so excited about this because I met Una many years ago, back in 2007, when we briefly overlapped at this organization called the City Kids Foundation in New York City. And we didn't get to work together. It's just we were kind of working in proximity, and Una was on her way out, and I was like there for a year on a short-term gig.
Wow.
And then we didn't see each other again for years. And the next time we saw each other was in Detroit at the Allied Media Conference,
Yay.
which some of our listeners will know is this, at the time it was an annual, now it's biannual, social justice conference for organizers, media makers, and artists. And when I ran into Una years later in Detroit, Una and her sister Michi were leading a workshop on burlesque dance and liberation. And I was like, hold on.
Wait
a second. One, my mind is blown trying to understand and catch up to where you are on the liberation path.
Yes.
And two, there's a whole other side of you that I did not know. Three, you have a sister? Hold on a second. So basically my whole mind was blown. And since then, I've been following y'all on Instagram, following the work that you do as artists. I'm very excited for us to get to introduce y'all to our listeners because you're magical unicorn artist, creator, performer, liberation teachers, and you're coming at the liberation work from a place that I think is so embodied and really challenges us in a very unique way. So I'm excited. Welcome to the show.
Yay. OMG. We're very, very, very excited.
We're very excited.
Oh, so are we.
So we like to start off the show just checking in with each other. Like, how are we? You know, as Grace Lee Boggs used to say, what time is it on the clock of the world? Like, how are we right now on this time of the clock of the world? Is anyone ready? Are you like, I know how I am? Oh, and one thing before you start, because people are just going to be learning your voices, you know, throughout this show, and siblings, we can have sometimes similar sounds. Just you say your name when you say anything.
Okay, listeners can't see it, but there is some really amazing, very beautiful sibling collaboration, theatrical, improvisational movement happening where they are trying to figure out who's going to go first, and let's see if they land it.
I will go. Okay, hi. And this is Una.
Hi, Una.
Thank you so much for having us. We're so excited to be here. Um, how am I doing? I am so excited to be here. And then, like, when I'm not here, I'm not feeling so. I've been sick with. I've been sick in bed. I've been sick for like
Oh.
almost 15 months now, with long COVID,
Mhm.
and
Oh.
so it's just like God really changed my life. And so this week, each week, it's like I'm dealing with a different symptom as a result of long COVID. So this week it's vertigo. And
Whoa.
so I've been in bed all
Wow.
week, just like dizzy and thinking I'm going to throw up. But right now I'm feeling like the most undizzy I think I've felt all week. So it's
All
just like
right.
that sibling conjuring, getting my body and mind here. So yes, a mix of like so grateful to be together, and whenever I see people I'm just like, I love you so much, and heartbreak of the world, and like, yeah, so that mix, that's how I am.
Wow. Thank you, Una.
Okay. This is Michi, and similarly, like, just since we received your invitation, just have felt so excited and just enlivened by the idea of all of us being together and talking about siblingness. Is just like beyond words. And then just in sibling fashion, I'm competing with Una for physical difficulties, so I'm also in pain, but a very different pain. I currently have. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm bleeding out of my butt, and I've
No.
Wow. I'm so sorry,
yeah,
but
I have anal fissures, which you know
Oh.
is not something I've dealt with before, and it's very unique
wow.
pain that I can feel my butthole very consciously in all moments.
Oh yeah.
So
Yes, it's like just present
it's
with you
it's fully there.
constantly.
It's like a heartbeat, another heartbeat that tap into.
An anal heartbeat.
I'm
Yeah,
not laughing at your
no,
pain, but wow, that's
it's our
outside.
pain. So
Yeah, we're all
yeah,
pulsing here.
pulsing together in the eternal heartbeat of our anus. So
Cheers.
that's where I am.
Wow.
Wow, thank
Oh
you for that.
man. That is I feel like there's a whole metaphor for the earth in that, you know.
Oh, for
It,
sure.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
it's one tube,
Wow.
you know.
I'm like, Autumn, I'm thinking of the like how soup to nuts or whatever, but I'm like, how are you from your head to your
Mhm.
anus? Like, how are you
Yeah,
doing?
let's see. How am I? I am well, I had therapy today and that was awesome.
Ooh,
I have
yay.
an amazing therapist and
Mm.
I am so grateful for it is not a small thing to find a strong therapist. There's a lot of terrible therapists in the world. So I'm
Yep.
feeling a lot more regulated and calm in my body than I have felt really at any point in the last couple of weeks. And and because of I do somatic experiencing therapy, so we focus a lot on the shape that the body wants to take, and I found that I was really identifying with the blank stare of a predator. That was really the shape that I'm in right now, and not
Wow.
the humans attach all kinds of like morality to the behavior of predators, but predators are just like out here doing what they do. And
Eating.
that's why their
Like, I'm
stare is
here to
blank,
eat.
because they're just like,
Yeah.
I'm just, killing this thing so I can eat it and feed my family. And I think that I'm in a sort of similar psychic zone of like, I'm just doing what's necessary so that I can protect my family and protect myself. And so I'm really wanting to kind of inhabit the blank stare of a predator today, but in like a really, in a positive, life affirming way. That's how I am. Oh, and I'm also really still vibing off of, I got to see Adrian in person last weekend. Adrian came out for the weekend to be with me and my kids and to support us and just hold space for us. And it was just very, very magical to actually be together in person, So
it was wonderful.
yeah, so I'm better. I'm better. How are you, sis?
Yeah. Well, I was also going to say I'm still vibing off of running Camp Adrian out of your house and in your house because we never left the house. That was awesome. And, there's something about like your babies are all like very dynamic creatures, but also they each have an introversion. Like they each have a way of being like, yeah, like if we want to stay in and just all read and then play some video games and then watch a movie and like we just can do that, And so we had a great time. They introduced me to Minecraft. I created a home in that space that I feel really like just sweet on.
And
like,
weren't the walls made of diamonds or something?
You should tell them.
The bathtub.
So the bathtub, it was an outdoor bathtub made of diamonds and sustainably resourced diamonds because they're Minecraft diamonds. And it was just a very gorgeous indoor-outdoor home experience. I had 2 fires like on either end of the home. Anyway, it was just fantastic. I came home and bought Minecraft because I realized that all I want to do now is yes, as an adult me, I'm going to it's calming my system to just create these little homes and valleys in the Minecraft world. So that's one thing that's going on with me and just getting to see you, getting to hug y'all, getting to like eat food with you. And I don't know, there's just like so many small things that I was just like, this is so great. And I'm never going to take it for granted again. Like, it's just so great,
I love the way you picked that knife
so
up.
all of that, has girl, like literally, I was just sort of like, the way you stack your dishes is so great. And like, I love, I like love your toaster and your microwave. It's just like, I don't know. It's just like your home, the rhythm of your home and the sense of your home and all of it just made me so happy. And then I am going through this like kind of fascinating health moment, and I had another big step in it this week. So I'm like going through this journey of trying to figure out some stuff that's going on with my esophagus and my gut health. And it meant doing this thing called an upper gastroscope, where they're basically like sticking cameras down inside of your body, which is going to tie into my flume of rage. But I came through it and I feel like very like this, I don't even know if brave is the word, courageous. I feel something like in my personal courageousness because I'm recognizing just how scary it is in this world and this society to turn and look at your unwellness, right? To sort of recognize like, oh, this thing has been beeping, trying to get my attention for a long time. And I know all the ways to ignore it. But I'm going to not ignore it. Now I'm going to turn and be like, tell me what's going on, body. And that's going to mean being really uncomfortable, being out of control of circumstances at times and different things. So like, I feel like good in it. I'm getting really good results back. Like everything I'm getting is like, oh, you can work on that. That's actionable. You can do something about this. Which for a Virgo is like, whew, can I do something about this? Then okay, we're good. Like you could tell me anything, but if I can do something, I'm still okay. So that's been going on with me this week, but it has meant a lot of like, oh, I kind of have to cancel this, or like a couple times I've just shown up and been like, yes, I've got hospital bracelets on, and I'm here, and I might be a little spaced out post sedation, and that's what you're gonna get. And people are just like, okay, like,
we're all just
we're in a new
happy
world,
to be alive.
Right? Yes, literally happy to be alive. And also, I keep thinking of us all like in the trenches, that kind of crawling through the trenches, elbowing your way forward. Like, I feel like we're all just like, we're elbowing our way. There might be a forward, like, there might be a finish line up ahead. We don't know. We're just, here we are. We just keep going, right? Like, I feel like
You're
it's
here,
that. So we're
I'm
all just
here,
like, oh,
let's keep
you're
going.
here? Great. Let's keep going. So yeah, some of that energy is present for sure in my life this week.
Well, I mean, I'm really ready to hear your flume of rage if you want to take us into
Oh yeah, let's take
the
us there.
flume of rage.
Petty, angry.
Flume of rage, flume of rage, flume of rage, flume of rage, flume of rage.
Well, I have two aspects of my flume of rage. One of them is related to the medical industrial complex, and which I almost always have some, any interaction I have with doctors and hospitals, I come away with usually like sort of equal parts gratitude and rage. Like I'm like, okay, I survived, but like that didn't have to be like that. And this one was about conscious sedation.
What even is that?
I don't think that it should exist. So basically, it's where they sedate you just enough that they can do things to you and you can't really, you're not going to like freak out and fight back. But they're like, they don't have, it's like they have to have a different level of permission or location or something in order to do full sedation, right? It's like a different level of medicine. So after the first round of this, they did the conscious sedation. I was like, no, that's traumatizing. This is a traumatizing experience because I can tell that something's happening, but I can't do anything to stop it. And it's very uncomfortable. And the whole time they're being like, you're doing a great job. You're doing great. And I'm like, if I can hear you saying you're doing a great job, you have not knocked me out enough. Give me more medicine.
Right.
Like I need to be further down.
Also, I'm not doing anything. You're doing something.
I'm literally not
me.
doing anything. My whole body's trying to get away from what you're doing. That's all that's happening right now. And so but you're conscious of that, So I really am like, I'm just like, let's not have that option. Unless I'm trying to think of the scenarios in which that would make a lot of sense. And I can't. So I'm like, maybe our listeners can let us know like, oh, why, or here's what, like maybe if you're allergic to sedation medicine or other things. But I'm like, I'm not. I would like to not feel any of this. And for you to I'd like to just go to sleep and wake up and you be like, here's what's going on down there. We did all the work and you didn't have to worry about it, because it's already a lot of trust, to lay on an operating table, to let anyone do anything to you. And then to have to be like, oh, I'm trusting you. While also, it's also the conversations you hear people having about you and about your body and everything else. There's just sort of like, oh, what's that? I'm like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Great job not responding.
No.
Right? You're doing good, honey. You're doing great. I'm just like, I don't like any of this. So that's my first piece of rage. My second is I felt a general rage this week about not living in a spirit-based society. And I felt it because we're recording this at the end of an eclipse week. And I just feel like eclipse week should be like, let's take the week off. Let's all just take the week off. There's going to be too much going on. Literally all of your shadows are going to be coming to the surface, exposed, worked on. This is not a time to be manifesting anything, including work.
God, that's what happened.
That's what happened, right? So the whole middle of the week, you're going to basically be crying in your bathtub. Like maybe there's water, maybe there's not. Like this is what's happening this week, right? And so I just feel like if we lived in a society that organized itself around like, spirit and moon and cycles and nature and even, just like what are the spiritual journeys that we're on, then these kind of weeks would be like, oh, no one should be trying to function this week. Or Mercury retrograde happens for like a month-long period 3 times a year. Like that's time off, whatever it is. Like we wouldn't get a lot of work done, but I think the work would be much more beneficial and blessed because it would not be hampered by all of the shadow work that's also happening while we're trying to do our jobs and be in interviews and stuff. So just being from personal experience. So I had that moment this week and I was like, in a conversation and I was just like, I'm really doing my best here, but it's eclipse week. Like, and it's like, how am I? Not good. Not good. But I'm going to be good because I'm turning and facing my shadows. That's how I am. It's just like, So I mean, clearly trying to bring that into the world. And I mean, I will say that every project I'm involved in does basically operate in a spirit-based society. And we're just sort of like, how are you doing? We're taking the day off today. And we're very efficient. We get a lot done. So
Yeah.
that's a flume and also a plug, but that's that's my rage, right?
Beautiful. Thank you.
What about you, sister? Anything enraging you?
Well, I think I'm just going to sum up my flume in 2 words. White women.
White women.
White women.
That's it.
With a WH on both.
Wow,
and I don't need to say anything else because that is
sometimes
that is it. I can't say anything else because of the nature of the situation. But I'm like, I did not need to have that experience this week. Didn't need that one. That was it.
Oh, I'm pouring one out for the homie. Yes.
Exactly.
Thanks for sharing that with us, sister.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you had that experience, that mysterious white woman experience.
Yeah.
What about you, Michi?
I mean, I have a flume certainly every bowel movement. It's a flume of glass shard feelings. And then catching my own anus and then pushing it back into my body.
Like that?
Wow.
It's like that.
Really?
Yeah. And similarly, for near a decade, I've had my body.
I'm feeling such anal empathy for you.
Thank you. But, it's a gentle rage that is needing to move through to find other ways to be in this body. So I'm with it. I'm allowing it to come out. Another rage, or it's actually really hard to let out. It's very hard to have a bowel movement.
God.
But
you have to be very
relaxing
intentional
enough to let it happen when you know how bad it's gonna be.
Like literally, the muscles are so tight that they had to put me on blood pressure medication to just like release.
Ooh.
And so I'm in a journey of letting go. There's a lot. It's like the last 10 years are like trying to show themselves to me again, and I'm trying to let it go.
Oh my God. I just want to take a moment and extend vision towards your healed anus. Like on the other side of this, those easy bowel movements that don't even make a gasp, a whimper, nothing. Like I just want to extend. Or I guess the shape is like that, but like
and
healthy sphincters.
Thank you.
Healthy sphincters.
Just ease.
Ease
Taking in and releasing, which is a lifelong journey of how to take it in and how to let it go. And I'm trying to just be able to still enjoy life, even as my pulsating anus is trying to take some of that away. But that is also part of it, is holding multiple things at once. The other flume of rage was just like actually watching footage of an Israeli settler and the absolute like surreal absurdity of just the heinousness of taking other people's it's mind-boggling and heart-boggling to understand how you can just have so little ability to connect to other people's humanity.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's been really enraging.
Yes.
And I'm trying not to hold it in my anus because apparently I hold something there. So
Yeah.
Good.
Right.
They don't deserve to be in your anus.
No, it's a privilege to be in my anus, and they don't get to be there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And what about for you, Una?
Yeah, I think that like Zionism and colonialism really is just watching the like horrific violence continue of like over 73 years of it all, and then like incredible courageous resistance from Palestinians on the ground and around the world, and then just as like usual in the Zionist playbook, like the conversation just gets like turned around and about like these accusations of anti-Semitism, and like it's like not even what's going on. It's like people are fighting for their liberation, and like it's not threatening to like anyway. So it just makes me be like, what? Wait, how does this? What? And we like see it over and over, like you know, whether it be like white people centering their lives, and it's not even about like we're not anyway. So I just and I think and it's like totally making me really sick, and I'm like, this what I'm feeling and what like is just like the teeniest piece of what Palestinians for generations have felt, and I'm just like it makes me like so enraged, so sick, and just so heartbroken.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Una. Yeah, it's not anti-Semitic to say stop killing entire families,
like at all,
right?
At all.
No.
Enough is enough.
Yeah, we were talking about it. I mean, I think one of our last episodes we were speaking about just like that cycle, like what plays out where people are like, oh, let me correct you. Let me do this. And it's just like, no, this is colonialism, and we're talking anti-apartheid, and that's what's happening, you know? But I'm grateful that y'all brought that in here. I feel like we just have to keep educating people and giving people space to have a strong stance on this one. So thank y'all.
Totally.
Let's all take a deep breath. Yeah, it helps to just name it. There's so much going on right now that we're just like, we have to be in the here and in the now, right? And there's a lot to be angry about. And then there's also a lot to be really excited about. And you two are like points of excitement for us as siblings, sibling organizers, siblings in movement. And, you know, really people that we've looked up to, you know, we've discussed, we're like, they're amazing. like, and so we're really geeked out to like bring, we're like, why don't we do burlesque together? Like, what the heck? So I think that this is a place for us to, I know, we're like, they're going to teach us how to change everything. So we have this set of questions for you, which hopefully guide you into something that feels like it works for y'all. We're really excited for people to get to learn more about you, but we start off with a really simple thing, which is just, where are y'all from? Like, where in the world were you born into? Like, where you come from?
Okay, I was born first. Okay, so
Una's
the oldest. Got it.
Thank you. As the elder flower, I we're born in New York, or what's known as New York City, Lenape Land, and our mom is Jewish Hungarian, 3 generations in Queens, New York, and our dad, thick New York accent. Yes, and our dad is from Japan, an immigrant, and the only one from his family that is here. And we grew up in the East Village in the 1980s, 90s, and so it's a wild world of New York that has been our life that we've seen and been part of.
Wow,
you grew up during such a time of profound change in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Totally.
And I'll just add that in our sibling history, our mom's side of the family were 2 sisters that married 2 brothers, and then they lived in a 2-family house, and they all looked the same.
In Far Rockaway. It's 2 families, but yeah.
But
just barely.
Yeah, exactly. Just barely. We come from
Wait.
No.
So your mom's
No,
sister.
our grandma. On
No,
our
no,
mom's
no.
Oh,
Your grandma.
So
Okay,
our
got it,
grandma
got it,
and
got
her
it.
sister married our grandpa and his brother.
And then they all lived in a team in my
they-
house. So codependency runs really
Yeah.
deep
In
in our
Queens.
genes.
Okay, got it.
we know the water we're
Yeah,
swimming
yeah.
in now. That's important. Thank you.
Totally. That's our context.
Okay, so it's interesting that y'all went there because the next question that we have had for you that we've been asking siblings is if you can talk a little bit about your family structure, and you can interpret that question however you want, right? That could be about your, immediate family, like are there other siblings in the mix, but you can also share a little bit about you can share more about the codependency story if you wish. And how are you in relationship with all the people in Queens and the Rockaways?
Well, our mom actually left the Rockaways and has not turned back. We're always like, the Rockaways are really cool. Like, we should go. Don't you want to check it out? She's like, no.
Not good.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's been like
back.
40 years and she's not been back.
Wow.
So,
Good for her. She's like, I know what way I'm heading.
Exactly. Our family that we grew up in the same apartment with in the East Village, our structure is, I would say, like, it's what we've known, but maybe unique to other people. Our parents, like, always growing up, they would switch off like who would have a job, not because they wanted to, I think, like, just because what jobs were available to them. And so, but also our dad is the main person who all our life growing up was the cooker and cleaner and took care of the domestic field. Was very much our dad's realm, and our mom is more like a Leo, fiery, like, going to get that job. And so yeah, I don't know, I think that was like both our parents are feminists, and that was like a pretty big it's a huge family value, but I think, like, growing up and seeing gender roles divvied up differently than maybe other people's homes felt like also an important thing. I don't know what you'd say, sister.
Yeah, I think, but I don't think I had a consciousness of it when we were growing up. But our dad was definitely our, like, caretaker in most ways. And though I don't know how mommy would feel about us saying that as I say it out loud. Yes.
But I feel like we get a lot of our, like, fieriness from mommy also. Like, she's like, I'm not taking shit, I'm gonna tell you like it is, kind of sweetness from that.
It's an edgy sweetness.
And edgy sweetness and care and all the things. And you said this, they're feminists. But how would you describe in any other way the political orientations of your family, both immediate family, if there's lineages of political space, if some of that has transformed over the course of your lifetime, but, like, what were you steeped in politically?
I think a lot of our political consciousness came from, like, the places that our parents put us. So, like, we went to PS3, which is an elementary school in Greenwich Village that is known as the hippie school. And, from between PS3 and going to Camp Kinderland, which was a socialist Jewish summer camp, we learned from very young ages about political organizing and just responsibility to other people, and that the power that we have is in people, and that in our uniting and, organizing, that we have immense power. And our parents put us in these spaces where we then, I feel like, found a lot of our community and learning and selves, but they weren't necessarily, like, there with us side by side in. But that being, we also come from, like, our mom was definitely very politically active, a socialist, though she doesn't want to talk about it often. When we're like, so what was it like? She's like, it's in the past. And our father, I think, like, in part from being an immigrant to the country and, trying to assimilate and trying to find his ways in this country, didn't have as much like presence in street protests as our mom or something like that. And yeah, I don't know if you want to add anything.
Yeah. I was just that our dad, like, because he was raised by women, and like also trying to reject a lot of misogyny of Japanese culture. I feel like that's where like a lot of this like home caretaking comes from. So and I think also just growing up in the East Village, like in the time of AIDS, AIDS being a horrible pandemic that was and the work of ACT UP and like so many activists that just like, even though we were kids, the environment that we were in was like, and there's squats everywhere, and also like a lot of poverty and drugs and like just a lot happening that as kids I think is really politicizing, and of like, this isn't everyone's not living like this, like and then like piecing together some of the world. And I think our parents also have always been encouraging us to do art. And like, other parents might be like, that's not a practical life career. But our parents have always been like, yeah. Like, how's your art going? Do your art. So between like those aspects of things, I think helped make us ourselves.
I think.
And how close are you in age?
We're 4.5 years apart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sometimes people ask if we're twins.
Sometimes people think when it's younger.
Right. No,
also.
I was definitely thought it was closer. That's great. I think people think I'm younger than Autumn.
Yeah, I think that's true too. But you and I know that I am squarely the baby of this family. And I'm not trying to be the oldest ever.
So baby. No, you're never going to give it up. And that's good. Because you can't, like literally. So 4.5 years. Great. So we're 5 years apart. So I'm like, yeah, this is, I love seeing that closeness across that time span. So awesome.
Yeah, our parents also, like, I've always dressed as our parents saw it artistically. As the rest of the world saw it, they said sluttily. But our parents were always very encouraging of what they saw as my artistic expression, which they were right. And, I consider it a huge just gift that I can move through the world and have been able to move through understanding myself artistically, sexually, and all kinds of ways of expression and power and feminism. And that my parents, specifically our parents, it wasn't a battle for me to have to do that. There were plenty of other battles, but with our parents it wasn't one.
Wow, that is so beautiful. It's beautiful to think about, like, what are the battles that we are like lucky to get to fight, and then what are the battles that we are lucky to not have to fight as children. That struggle.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting hearing y'all talk about, both your like process of politicization via the places that your parents put you, via the environment that you were just experiencing growing up in. We would be really curious to hear you talk about the point where you started to politicize by choice, right? Like where you were sort of jumping off from the places that you were placed and finding places for yourself that required you to kind of step outside of the milieu. And I would also just love to hear what your artistic practice had to do with that. You know what I mean?
Totally. Well, it's interesting you were mentioning the place that you and me met, Autumn, of City Kids. I was a youth person there growing up. So at 9, I joined, and it was like,
oh my God, I don't think I knew that.
yeah. So me working there was like a reprise of like, oh, I did this as a teenager.
God, I love knowing that.
So I was like a 9-year-old, but everyone else was like 16 to 20. And so I think that also was like politicizing for me, of like meeting teenagers from all over New York and being like, what? That's what life is like in the Bronx? Like, what? Like, Flatbush is like that. Like, so, and in that space, a big influential person in my life was this person named Jamal Joseph, who was a former Black Panther, and he was part of the Panther 21, and like he was, so his whole orientation of the world was very like had a like just a super radical perspective. And so I remember like learning about Mumia's case, and like just learning about things that I was so fortunate to learn and see the ways that he was like that we were being encouraged to like create art about our experiences and how we wanted to change the world. And so I think that was a very important place for me, where I was like learning how to use my voice, like fight for the world I want to see in community with radical perspectives and orientation. And in addition to, like Michi was talking about, our summer camp, we were like learning about struggles of the present and past. And then also we went to another dance school called Locomotion Dance Theater, that again, like the teacher there was really like, create art from your experiences, create art that how you want to transform and change the world. And the dance teacher is still Michi's like mentor, and and Michi goes back and like teaches there to the young ones. And I mean, we became vegetarians very early. I'm not gonna, like, this is not at all like this same, but I became vegetarian when I was 4 because I didn't want to kill the animals. And then I peer pressured Michi at age 6. Did she want to kill the animals or not? And she became a vegetarian. So growing up, our parents would make 2 meals, one for us and with no meat, and one for them with meat. So that was like I think like an early moment in our lives where we were like, our actions impact the world and we can make choices. So I think that was a big moment for me. And then I really became politicized around like gentrification in the East Village and Mumia's case, and like opened up a world of like police brutality and political prisoners that was happening in abolition. And to you, sister.
Yes. I did get peer pressured at 6 to stop eating meat, and it was the beginning of my political consciousness. I mean, seriously, but also it's all encompassed right there. As a very young child, my sister was very influential on my life and throughout my life. And as we said, like going to socialist summer camp and learning so much about labor history and international struggle, and growing up in the East Village and going to gay hippie school and all of that was kind of, I think, built a kind of groundwork of like, what is the world and what is our role in the world. And Una really was and has been forever extremely influential and important and guiding for me. And I was just recently remembering that the first time I got in trouble at school for something related to political organizing was in 8th grade, because my older sister had taught me things and taught me about Mumia, and I was putting up flyers at the school and got in trouble.
Wow.
Just that, like, been thinking a lot about, like, when did my consciousness around Palestine begin? Because although we went to this socialist summer camp, it was not anti-Zionist, and just that at a young age, Una and all that she was learning was she was passing on to me, and so there was just like certain things that I just grew up kind of believing were just the standard, you know, like. So I definitely have felt that peer pressure since I was 6 and beyond, even before that.
Oh my God. I love this, and I identify so strongly with everything you just shared, Michi.
I'm sorry.
No.
Wait, you were my only audience then.
Captive audience, you know. Really, I got to hear all those speeches before they went public.
Yes!
We like both eat meat now, also, just for the record.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I have bone broth.
No, I'm like heavy eating meat now, and Una still like struggles with it, and I see her like secretly apologizing. And,
Oh my God. I love y'all so much. Also, it's just helpful to hear, because I have one of my children is a vegetarian. And so I'm in that zone right now of having to create a different meal for them than for the other two. And it's a lot of work, but it's like, it's so important to me to respect their choice. And they're so clear about it. They are so clear. They're just like, yeah, I can't. I can't do that.
Yeah.
They're a Capricorn too. So they're just like, that's not okay with me.
Yeah. Which now, as an adult that has to feed myself several times a day, I'm like, how did our dad make 2 separate meals every day for every meal? Like,
and I guarantee you that he does not know how
he's always like, I don't know. Yes.
It was all a blur.
And then just as I got older, or I guess going to college, even though I grew up like dancing since I was 3 years old, I think going to college and my dance teacher at the time, Miss Adenike Sharpley, had a very strong influence on me in understanding that art and culture is activism. And between her and I think I was also teaching ESL classes sometimes, understanding that like activism was not just street protest and not just masses of people, but that it happens in a lot of different ways, was kind of a big point in my life of beginning to kind of open up to myself that like there's other ways to be working for justice in the world. And then shortly after I graduated college, I went to the World Social Forum in Brazil and had planned to stay for 4 weeks, but ended up staying for 3 years and ended up like living in the woods, no water, electricity life, and opening up to a whole new part of myself that I didn't know I hadn't ever really accessed before, but that realizing that I was made of nature and that it really mattered to me, and that I was made of spirit and it really mattered to me, and that there was something I had to keep learning in all of that. And I think for the first time in my life also feeling good, like feeling a sense of peace that I had never known before. And it was a very confusing time for me because I had grown up in New York City, like grown up not wanting to get my shoes dirty, grew up really also believing that there was no choice but to fight and work for justice in the world because there's so much injustice, and not knowing that how I could also feel okay, and how I could not feel constant just despair. And so I think that for me was the beginning of trying to understand what it meant for me to be fighting for justice, but not in the ways that I had known. And yeah.
Wow. That's profound. That's profound. Thank you. It's so beautiful to hear from both of you, this weaving and pressuring and dancing and unfolding and like all of it. And it brings us up to the present moment. And, you know, I have known you both through the Ally Media Conference space and been blown away by the work that you have done and do, so much so that when I was working on pleasure activism, I was like, I have to have you all come and talk about your work as burlesque revolutionaries. Basically, I need to understand how that intersection happens. And so what we want to know, because we know you actually work together with the Brass Burlesque crew, and what we want to understand is, in addition to that or through that or about that, what feels aligned about the work that you currently do in the world, and then also what feels distinct or different that people might not recognize that you're actually up to.
Yeah, I think like finding burlesque and finding clowning, which is also an art form we partake in. I would say that's like a family trait.
Yeah.
So both of those, like,
it's a family affair.
Clowning.
It's also in our genes. Clown and codependency.
That's the name of your collective biography. Like Clowns and Codependency, the Una and Michi story.
Honk honk. Wah wah. I think like learning that both art and activism, like everything is horrible. And like I think a lot of my like early years of activism, it was really about like how can like activism is only like pain and like bashing your head into a wall, and like and that like learning like, and that art also felt a similar way, like to be a real actor. We both went to theater school, and like to be an actor, if you take yourself so seriously and it's not anything about joy, it's like clowning, burlesque, it's all about like an interaction with an audience. Like what are we doing together? Like we are incredible, like sexy, and also sexy means something different to everybody. And like to me, sexy, like it that it like has to be coming from, because when we do our art form of burlesque, and it really is about like how are we present in this moment and what's real for us. And so it has to be tapped into stories that we want to tell it with our bodies, and like accessing real pleasure and joy in real time. And so I think that also like helped shift for me like a lot of, because I was like creating work and we were creating work together. How do we like do this for the in terms of like longevity too? Like it can't just be like terrible all the time, and everything is terrible. Like, so it's also so confusing. So like, and how do we create work that reflects our experience and the world we want to see? And I forgot the question.
This is one of my favorite things about y'all. I feel like you did this when we were doing the interview for the book too, where you would like get down a path and you'd be like, wait, what was the thing?
I have no idea
which I love, because I'm like, you're following like you're literally modeling, like this is what it's like to be present. That's in the past. So that question from the past, and I'll just bring here, is what feels aligned about the work that you're doing together? And then are there distinctions? Are there areas of work that you don't do together, or ways that you approach it that are a little different from each other in this moment?
I'm almost done with acupuncture school. I've been in school for 6 years now. Yeah! And as I was thinking about this interview and thinking about rewind the words out, don't come out of the hole, back into the hole. And recently we were at a rally and Una spoke to a group of hundreds of people. And it was just really incredible to witness you, her, my sister, the clown, being present and being scared and being, with illness and just like reaching in and finding a way to share and connect with hundreds of people in a way that made them feel more alive and made us all feel more alive. And as we were getting ready for this interview, I was just thinking about just what an incredible gift you have for moving so many people and for being able to connect to just like so many people. And that I think for much of my life, I've thought that I had to be my sister and I had to be as good as her and I had to do things in the way that she did. And that is not, I think, an inherent like talent of mine. And that I'm understanding that more of some of what I do is in a one-on-one way, and it's in a smaller or a quieter way.
Yeah.
But that for much of my life, I think it caused me a lot of angst to feel like compared to someone that is so incredible. And I see now in our lives, I feel like all of the work that we do is healing work. And that it's coming at it from all these different ways. And so to get to see my sister doing this healing work and seeing how it is changing, and it felt really powerful to witness, and then also powerful to be able to witness myself also and be able to see that like what I have to share and what I have to do in the world is different, and to be able to just hold that for myself feels like a huge thing in life.
Wow.
That is huge.
And I again don't remember the question.
That was it. That was it.
100%.
I really deeply appreciate the vulnerability of what you just shared and where you both are. Like, I feel like you're both so much of what you're sharing is like the work is about finding what your particular offer is. I think of it as the Beyonce Solange scenario, right? It's like, how do you find your thing? Where it's just like, this is my thing and it doesn't take anything away from your thing. And like, we can love each other's things and do things together, but we get to be our own animals in this forest, and
I'm the Solange of the relationship. I'm the one who's like, I'm just weird and I'm gonna go do this and be weird, and you come over sometimes and dance on the stage with me, and like
that's right. I aspire to the weirdness, but I just keep pleasing the masses. I don't know how to stop.
Just keep dropping hit after hit.
Don't.
What can I say?
No, can't.
hit after hit after hit. Exactly.
It's a banger, the Adrian and Autumn story. So
this is such a good segue into the last question that we had for y'all for the interview portion, which is, what is something that you think the world should know about your sibling?
Oh, well, I'm older, so I'll go first.
Yep.
Fair. Totally fair.
I mean,
y'all are working out a lot of power dynamics.
It's powerful.
My sister. I mean, it's very humbling to hear like you. No, it's just like we're in the forest. To hear you like say all these really nice things about me, and just they're so like loving and supportive and encouraging me of me, of my like own growth and healing. And we have our own like whole ecosystem between us that like continues to grow. And I just even though I was a peer pressure as a 6-year-old, the power shifted, I feel like, and like I just like look up to you, even though I am the elder. In case it hasn't been said yet. No, but I like look to you to like compass in the world of like more deeply understanding like real healing. And like as a Gemini, I feel like I just like get very like whoosh, yeah! and your Capricorn earth sideness just really gets down and deep, and I'm just Capricorn. Like whoa. But it truly I feel like I like continuously am learning more about being a full person in the world. Like you're the person I looked up to most and love with all my being. And so we create so much together, and it's just like amazing to, like you were just saying, watch you like shine and really not come into like in a patronizing way, like, but you what you do it so thoroughly, and like thinking about every comprehensive detail of like we did a show recently about the military industrial complex, a burlesque cabaret show, working with like about face veterans, like we're anti-war, so we merged burlesque and drag and all that together. And sister like held down, like there was a whole area for acupuncture and tinctures, and she had social workers on call for then and after the show. Like, you know, I'm like, sparkly, hello, here we go, let's do it. And she's like making sure that like the depth and the love and care is really fully there. And I just see that in all of your work. And I'm just so grateful to get to be in this with you, and all the siblings that understand what it is to be all of ourselves in, and also so deeply connected to other people.
So sweet.
Liar, you're a liar. No.
And what about for you, Michi? What do you wish people understood about Una?
I feel my like protectiveness come up in the question. I don't know if this is fair to say to the general world public, but I think that, as I was saying, like my sister has such a gift and skill and talent, and just like so much abundance for sharing with the world, and just inviting people in and making everyone feel so whole and so welcome and so good. And it still has a cost. Like it uses a lot of energy and requires a lot. And yeah, I just want the world to know that even though it looks effortless and it feels really fun for everyone, like it still takes a lot of energy. And so just like know that
just
as you know that.
Wow.
Want to receive all of that from my sister.
Right. It's like, just know that.
Just know that. Just know so that. Good. Thank you both so much for that tender, precise, specific, excellent everything that y'all just gave us. And wow, we're done with the interview boards where we're like, you guys are so amazing. We're both just looking at each other like, yes, us too. We're learning so much. And we're not going to cry until 5 minutes later, but we are moving and we wanted to
because delayed emotions is our family
thing. It's our family thing. We like to get it. We're like, I felt this thing that you did 3 years ago, I need to talk to you about. So we, speaking of delayed things, top culture, is one of our favorite things, which is what are the cultural artifacts, happenings, shows, memes, like comedians, whatever it is that is getting you through life these days. And part of it, the way we make the joke about the delay is that pop culture often ranges quite far back into history culturally. And I think today actually yours is one of those kinds. So maybe we can start with you, Autumn, and then see what everyone has.
Starting in the past. And because we're short on time, I'm going to rapid fire this. I'm just going to say Fast and the Furious. I'm finally catching up on the whole saga. Yes. Starting from the very first movie that came out in 1999 or something.
Different century.
Wow. I went from I don't understand cars to there's too much of the this and the this and the I felt like I finished the first movie and I was suddenly an expert on racing cars. That's how
I love that you still didn't have any car related words to offer.
I didn't have the words. I couldn't find the words. It was only inside the experience of watching the movie that I felt expertise.
Awesome.
And
so good.
And all of this is getting me to the place where I can see F9, which is coming out this summer and features my crush, Charlize Theron, who I am in love with. And Charlize, if you're listening,
this could still happen, Charlize. Yeah.
Yes, it could still happen. It's not too late for us.
Thank you for that. That was rapid. I'm impressed. Una, Michi, do you know your top culture? What you want to offer?
Yes. I mean, I just watched the first 3 episodes of Z-Way, the new show on Showtime.
Oh, Z-Way, the comedian who tears people apart. Yes.
Okay, Phoebe, so you often wear a skeleton costume. Mm-hmm. Is this your way of appropriating dead culture?
I guess, kind of.
Would you like to apologize to the unliving?
Yeah, I apologize to everybody dead who I've offended by my skeleton and ghost costumes.
Wow, you heard it here first, an apology, and not on the Notes app.
She's amazing. She's so brilliant. So that was just great. But my always go-to for calming the nervous systems are cat videos, and just that is a lot of me and sisters just sending each other cat.
That's most of our communication, actually.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I love knowing that.
We're over processing. It's just cats.
Well, and I'm just remembering too that everyone here doesn't know your other names that you.
Oh,
right.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, so I'm Una Aya Osato, aka Exotic Other, aka Norms. Those are my burlesque names.
Yep.
Thank you.
And I'm Michi Ilono Sato, aka Sister Selva, aka Lil Willie.
Yes. Lil Willie. Yeah. Highly underrated. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited about your top culture, Michi. What do you have for us?
Well, I should have added that I am currently on a ecstatic retreat with my closest friends in the lakes of North Carolina, in the woods, and it is beautiful and just soul holding. And one of my friends sent this, I guess it's called a meme. I don't exactly know. I think I'm in Autumn's camp of what's a meme? Tell me. Yeah. Anyway, somebody's brilliance on the internet, on the TikTok internet, they rewrote this song that was very popular in my youth. And so I'll just sing it for you all. I'm not a singer, so, very shy.
It's going to be even better then. Yeah.
What would you do if your son was at home, crying all alone because a witch transmogrified him into a house, and the only way to feed him was to lure neighborhood kids into the front door so they get eaten up? And that's not a foyer, that is a home out. The teeth are the furniture, and the chandeliers the uvula, and for me, that is what I call my son.
Woo! Okay, you're gonna have to just send that to us so that we can post it in the show notes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
People
certainly
are gonna
will.
need that medicine
Certainly.
both ways. Both ways.
It's been just like feeding me endlessly as I can't like eat and digest
You can't unhear and
out of
unimagine
me.
it. Like it's there now forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. And I will throw in mine, which is one is that I watch The Voice, and each year I watch it and I'm like, I'm never watching this again, because each year I get so into the people who are moving forward, particularly like amazing big Black women singers who are like making it forward and can clearly out-sing every other person on the show or in the entire world.
Every person
And
on the
then
show.
right when America gets to vote, so it's like the coaches do a really good job of like curating a diverse, team and and then America gets to vote and all the great people are gone, and then you're just looking at like which country singer who, it's like maybe they have a nice tone, but I'm like there's no comparison to what that lady was doing. Anyway, so I've been like every year I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. It's like the electoral process, like no. But then I'm like, they pulled me back in because like, what if this time? So this time there was this young brother named Kim Anthony, who from the very first performance, I was just like, oh, I want to hear this person sing and see them perform like for the rest of my life. Like I want to buy the albums, but also just the spirit of this person is just like the kind of spirit. It feels like watching a young Prince, David Bowie, like just someone who's just like, I am completely ready to be an unfettered, mega joyful person for all, like I will give you so much, just let me at it. And so there were all these amazing singers.
Yeah.
And when America started voting, all the Black women went home, and I was like, no, but Cam Anthony's somehow still there. And I was like, fuck, could Cam actually win this? And he was on Team Blake, and he actually won. And he won doing the most incredible performances. And he sang Wanted Dead or Alive as one of his last songs. And I was like, what, Cam Anthony?
Jovi.
Like, you nourished my soul. I am so deeply satisfied by the performances.
Okay, what I have to say, I have to say about this, what I think is so fucking cool and impressive about this is that he totally gamed them. He was like, oh, I see you, America, needing it to be a country musician. I'll show you country. I'm going to sing about how I'm a cowboy. And then America's like,
you're a cowboy. He's singing about being a cowboy. And he was like, I will go on Team Blake. Okay, we'll be on Team Blake. That's your country team. That's who wins this. The whole thing was like just so brilliant. And then at the end, this baby's coming out in like an afro. Like, I am fully Black power. I've got my pick in my hair. I'm wearing heels. I'm giving you Prince. I'm like, it's just outstanding. It's so satisfying. So like, if you don't want to watch anything else of The Voice, like just watch Cam Anthony's performances and you will feel great that this person is moving forward in life. And then my only other thing that I want to share is my top culture thing is I came up with an amazing sex toy idea, and I want to put it out into the world for all of us who are involved in the strap-on community. And there's this toy that came out called the Womanizer, which you may have heard about. I talked about it in Pleasure Activism, but it's the Womanizer, which is worst name ever, but amazing toy, suctions the clitoris, right? So it wraps around the clitoris and it suctions while vibrating the clitoris. So it feels like you're receiving head or you're just inside of something awesome. So my sex toy idea is somehow you need to put that in the base of the strap-on so that the person who straps on is able to insert their clitoris into the Womanizer little thing. And while you're entering someone, you actually get the wet, entering, squeezy feeling of entering. Right? I'm like,
Oh my God.
why doesn't it already exist?
that's
what I'm
brilliant.
saying. I want it to exist, and I want it to be called the top joy toy or something. Like, I'm just like, it's
top
the top joy toy. It's just sort of like, why? That's what we've needed all along. It's like what I don't want to feel. I don't have penis envy. I have joy of this penetration envy. It's different. It's distinct, right? It's like, I just want to be able to have top joy when I'm topping, or when someone's topping me, I want to know that they're feeling like all the things that they could be feeling there. So that's my sex toy idea. And like, it's just, I literally am walking around the house being like, this idea is so fantastic. Like, who makes sex toys? And I send it to all the people I know who might know how to make it happen. And if it does happen, this might be the greatest achievement of my life. Like, fuck all the books, fuck everything else I did. Like, if this happens, like this is going to like change queer life for all time. So anyway, I just wanted to offer that as my top cultural thing.
I'm just so glad
Yes.
that the best idea of your whole career happened right now on this show, and that because of the reach of our audience, this is going to be in the world.
definitely.
This is going to be in the world, and we are all going to get to have sex with it. It's going to be so fucking great.
Oh my God. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
yeah.
This is brilliant.
Una, Michi, thank you so much for being on our show. And I have to say, it's because y'all are here that the conversation went there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
your influence just opened up something that,
Like,
you know,
I can do
that
this
the
with
world
them. I can do
needed.
this with
Yeah,
them.
it's like we're all up in it now. We're spreading the lips, and we're
Spreading the lips.
diving all the way in.
And we're suctioning and we're vibrating, and it's fantastic. And our anuses are healed, and it's just great.
Oh,
So good.
thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
We love
Thank you.
You suctioned us in.
Yeah.
Suctioned us into your hearts forever.
Yeah, suctioned right in and
Suctioned
vibrating.
right in.
We love you.
Thanks for listening to our show. We're on Twitter and Instagram at End of the World PC. We're also on Facebook at End of the World Show.
You can make a sustaining donation to our show by visiting our page at patreon.com/endoftheworldshow.
Another incredible thing you can do to help our show sustain itself is to write us a review on Apple Podcasts if you are an iPhone person, which you don't have to be. No one has to be.
No, but you could also write there if you're the person who's going to make the sex toy, or just, put it somewhere on a link. How to Survive the End of the World is produced and edited by the gorgeous Zach Rosen.
Music for today's show comes from Tunde Alaniran and Mother Cyborg.
It was a good one, y'all. We love y'all.